I've left this hardware monitor on for the last 16 hours. So that's like yesterday at some point I put it on. And then during that time, I've exported a few videos and it's gone to 197 watts maximum power draw from this 9950X 3D. I've got the iGPU on as well, which we're gonna have to turn off because I don't think this is helpful here because sometimes it uses iGPU instead of DGPU. And because the AMD Radeon iGPU just doesn't give us anything, it's just get rid of it. There's no point having this on really. Now, interestingly, during what I have been doing here, I've used 74 gigabytes of RAM, which also shows that 64 gigabytes in my workflow is not enough. And at the moment, I'm using the 4 sticks, and these are going 3,600 megatransfers per second. And here's the thing, unfortunately, these memory sticks are not in the QVL list for this motherboard.
It's time your CPU is not the bottleneck anymore. MSI Raider A18HX featuring the AMD Ryzen 9 9955HX 3D processor with 16 performance cores and 144 megabytes of second-gen AMD 3D V-Cache technology. Not just the world's fastest mobile gaming processor, but also a great workhorse for creators. It's for those with extreme performance needs and no compromises. MSI Overboost Ultra technology delivering 175 watts of graphics power to the RTX 5090 plus additional 85 watts to the AMD Ryzen 9 9955HX 3D processor. That's a 260 watt total portable power. And the CPU allows full overclocking for the enthusiasts. Plenty of I/O including 2 USB 4 ports, full-size SD card reader, and an RJ45 port. 18-inch mini LED 4K display with 120Hz and display HDR 1000. Gen 5 NVMe with a dedicated heat pipe for cooling. Whether gaming, creating, or AI workloads, it delivers in all fronts. Check out more information in the description below, as well as our full video on this laptop. Thanks AMD and MSI for sponsoring this part of the video.
At the moment in this room, there's 23 degrees Celsius. So I'm gonna do a real world test of, does the PBO actually matter? And then does the RAM speed actually matter? So what we can see now is how much actual CPU usage we use and then how much GPU we're using. Okay, the first test is done now. We did it in 14 minutes and 3 seconds. Now, here's the thing. We're gonna reset the status and I'm gonna go back to default settings. So this is completely stock of everything. And then we're gonna do exactly the same test again. Reset. We're gonna go again. Now that is fascinating. I just completed it without the OC and we did it in 13 minutes and 33 seconds. So literally by not OCing it, as you can see, we are shaving 30 seconds off our 14 minutes export, which is pretty crazy. Another thing interestingly that I noticed is that whenever we were exporting picture in picture or there's extra things on top of each other in Premiere Pro, the NVIDIA card suddenly kicks in and starts doing a lot of the heavy work. But now I want to get this 96 gigabytes of RAM installed with higher speeds and I want to see if that makes any difference. So already the base speed of this RAM is 48 megatransfers per second, so extra 1,200 megatransfers per second. But that is not the XMP, so we're gonna restart this, go into the BIOS and put XMP on. Okay, we've put on the tweaked one, so let's see if we can get 6,400 megatransfers per second. We've literally more than doubled the memory speed now compared to the previous one, but we only have only have 96 gigabytes. Okay, would you look at that? 6400 megatransfers per second, 96 gigabytes. Exactly the same test. Let's go. Okay, now it's done with the XMP enabled. And what is our result? 1209. We shaved another 30 seconds. No, wait a second. That is huge performance improvement. So now we just shaved off a minute and a half pretty much. So on the right, I've got stock settings, and then now with XMP, literally a minute and a half less. That is massive. But now I want to see if the XMP will also give our CPU some extra boost, how and what it can do. So we're going to go BBO advanced, and I'm just going to put the same settings on there. Boost override CPU 200, everything maximum. We're going to just press apply. So basically now we've got XMP, but then now CPU boost as well. So let's take a look what it would be now. Another thing I want to show here is our Ethernet speed. So we're reading at 1.3 gigabits per second. So I wonder if our internet speed or the Ethernet speed is also a bottleneck in this setup. So the next test, what I will be doing is if I'm going to move all the files locally to see if our NAS or Ethernet connection is going to be the bottleneck. So stick around. Okay, now I've completed the test again. What we have is XMP on and PBO manual is on as well. So, wow, another 20 something seconds, 11:38. Okay, take a look at this. We've got stock RAM speed, 3600, 128 gigabytes. Then we've got the PBO enabled on the stock manual RAM, 3600 speed. Then we've got stock 3600 speed, and then PBO enabled in there. So basically, overclocking when your RAM speed is just standard doesn't really matter whatsoever. Then if you've got a faster RAM speed, that shaves huge amounts off. We're basically 2 minutes faster, from 14 to 12 minutes, or a minute and a half faster compared to just everything stock. And if we've got the manual PBO enabled, overclocked, and the XMP is on 6400 as well, we've shaved extra 31 seconds we have got off, which is just huge difference in terms of all the encoding. So this is absolutely fascinating. So if you're looking at the stock RAM bandwidth, or the DRAM bandwidth, we're about 28, 29 gigabytes per second. If we overclock the CPU, obviously RAM doesn't change at all, but then going with the faster RAM speed, 6400 RAM speed, we are at 42 gigabytes, and which is the same in there on the PBO manual. We're at 42. We're almost doubling the bandwidth by actually going double the speed, which is interesting. It's quite linear what we're seeing here. Also, when enabling PBO with the XMP, what I saw was the actual power draw of the CPU was higher. What I see over there is 236 watts compared to just 210 watts when it's overclocked, but RAM speed is not different. So when we've got an XMP enabled, the CPU can do extra stuff, and we're pulling extra 26 watts in there. But we're seeing the same things actually different in there. So maximum CPU power draw, if we just got the XMP enabled, is 200 watts, whereas on there we've got 196. So only a couple of watts difference, which we basically say it's the same. But PBO can now suddenly enable extra power when we have XMP enabled, which is fascinating. Another thing I'd like to mention is that probably my VRAM is the bottleneck. This 5080 from MSI, it has 16 gigabytes of VRAM, and I have used all of it. As you can see, 15.5, 15.4, this is just 15.4, which means that we're probably VRAM bottlenecked as well. Now, the last test that I'm about to do is I'm going to copy all of these files from all over the different NASs and everything that I have, and I'm going to put them locally on desktop. That's what I'm doing right now. And then we're going to do the export again to see if the storage having locally on the Gen 5 NVMe, remember what we installed, Is that going to be any different? And are we going to get faster speeds? So now what I'm opening is this is actually located on the C drive. So on the desktop, everything should be in there, which means that we shouldn't be bottlenecked with any of the network drives or NAS or any of the other storage. Well, allegedly. So we're going to do that test now. Okay, there it is. As you can see, different location. Let's do exactly the same test, but now we should be able to see this SSD massively in use. Okay, this just finished, so let me just take a look at this. Oh, wow. That is a huge difference, guys. So the best time so far was 11 minutes and 38 seconds, and now it's 10 minutes and 26 seconds. We've shaved extra minute and 12 seconds off, which is ridiculous. So we went from 14 minutes something to 10 minutes and 26 seconds. That is a massive difference. Okay, I didn't expect the NAS to be that big of a difference. Apparently this is. If I had everything locally, it would be faster. But the thing is, I just can't fit all 50 terabytes locally. So I'm gonna have to be somewhat storage bottlenecked. But these tests are absolutely fascinating and I did not expect that. One thing for certain, I'm gonna keep the PBO manual on at maximum speed because 82 degrees and we are 24 something degrees in this room right now. So the temperatures are gonna be completely fine on this, even when I'm pulling 240 watts. This cooling on that PC really keeps up with it, and having cool air coming in just makes sense. And why not just keep that extra little bit of performance there, because it does help. So these two laptops, I did exactly the same tests on these two. So after exporting the PX16 with RTX 5090 mobile with 24 gigabytes of VRAM, remember, we are actually VRAM bottleneck there. Finished the export in 14 minutes and 18 seconds, which is the slowest of the bunch. But regardless, quite impressive for a laptop. And the 5090 and Creator laptop, they're doing good work in there. Bear in mind, I wasn't running any other programs in there, but it's still about 4 minutes slower than what we have over here, which is huge difference in time. Now, what about the MacBook? A lot better. This MacBook has 128 gigabytes of RAM, which also can be allocated to the GPU. So the GPU has a lot of VRAM. This MacBook completed it in 13 minutes and 30 seconds, which for a laptop is impressive, but regardless, our PC here is about 22% faster than this laptop, while having 4 times the SSD capacity and a lot better ports. Now, yes, this PC is not portable, but it's upgradable. I'm sure you already know that. It's running Windows, which everybody hates these days, even the Windows guys. This is amazing. I've been using it for a bit and it's just so nice. On a laptop, you feel like you're on a laptop. No matter what the benchmarks say that, oh, this is about 20% faster. When you're working on it, it's just so much better. You've got unlimited ports that are just way too much that you're ever gonna need. Whatever you plug in, it's just fast. It's just incredible. It's just always chugs through. There's no like, oh, laptop fans are kicking in and it's gonna get the performance down because it gets hot. It's just at that speed at all times. I'm loving it. I'm only scratching the surface of what this PC can do. And yes, in my workflow, I would love to have a 5090, but even the 5080 is just amazing. And finally having 10 gigabit Ethernet, oh, it's just so good. PC building apparently is not dead. Surprise, surprise. Congratulations, if you've reached this part of the video, you're in the top 13% of people's attention graph. And there's more than 50% chance that you seeing this means you're not subscribed. So consider subscribing, hitting that bell icon, liking the video. It would mean a world to us. If you'd like to get detailed access to our internal benchmark database of CPUs, GPUs, SSDs, and so on for creators, then may I invite you to sign up to our newsletter where we send out relevant information a couple of times a month when there is information. I'm not interested in flooding your inbox. This is when there is good information to share for your creative workflow. then we'll send those emails out. And also you'll get the most exclusive access to some of the behind the scenes, perhaps even giveaways. So scan that QR code or link in the description below. If you've got any urgent questions to me personally, you can always reach out on Minect. I'll always get back to my messages. If you're looking for a new hoodie, may I recommend this one. This is not just any cheap random hoodie. This is a high quality hoodie that you can get, and when purchasing this, we get a small little kickback to help us build what we're building here. My passion is to help creators choose the best tech for their workflow and help them save some money in the process. This is Tech Notice, and if you've reached this part of the video, you have been upgraded to the top 5% of the people who ever see this part. And now YouTube thinks that you'll like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do it on this side. Thanks very much guys for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.